Hello, everybody. Welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge, and it's PSG against Bayern in the Club World Cup. Tell me. You tell me. I'm just here because I think it'll be a good competitive game. Is it the quarterfinals? I think it's the quarterfinals. It is the quarterfinals. Thank you for that. I mean, look, it's Saturday. It's 5 p.m. in the UK. I'm sort of ready for football to start coming back. And PSG, the semi-final should be good because it'll be... I mean, Chelsea have had a bloody scam run again, haven't they, to the final? They must think it's the Conference League all over again. I mean, fair play. I think the Brazilian teams have done well, but one side of the draw is just completely and utterly loaded, isn't it? Real Madrid will beat Dortmund later and play the winner of this, and then Chelsea have got another Brazilian team, and they'll probably get to the final where hopefully they'll get beat by PSG. No, yeah, actually, yeah. Anyway, should be a good game. Team news is going around on the screen for you. I will read through that now, but let's have a quick look at it. It's being played in America at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which I think is in Philadelphia. On the streets of Philadelphia, I think it is. So, PSG, Donnarumma, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Mendes, João Neves, Vitinha, Ruiz, Barcola, Doué, and Kvaratskhelia. Dembele is on the bench, but they've got a strong team. Bayern should be strong as well. You've got Manuel Neuer, Stanisic, Tar, Upamecano, Lema, Pavlovic, Kimmich, Koeman, Musiala, Elise, Harry Kane on their bench. They've got players such... they've got a massive bench. They've got a huge bench. They've actually got 4 more players on their bench than PSG. Paulinho's there, Kim Min-jae's there, Goretzka's there, Gnabry's there. But yeah, should be an interesting game. Should be a good crowd. Finally, it's in Atalanta. It's in Atlanta, sorry, not Atalanta. That's a football team in Italy. But hope you're doing well. There is some Madueke news coming out as well. Just in general football. Thanks everyone who actually left a comment on the Partey video. Not really bothered about what your comments are. I mean, you don't put a content up like that and expect it not to generate conversation, but some of it was very interesting. Okay, Inter and Barcelona not in contact for ter Stegen, says Fabrizio. Personal terms between Arsenal and Madueke are almost agreed. Winger is given the green light to join Arsenal. An offer was already submitted and exclusively revealed. Got to say, little bit uninterested in this. You know, when Arsenal were looking at Eze and Rodrigo and Nico Williams, I was like, good. Madueke, I just feel... I don't know what Arsenal fans think, but I just feel a bit... meh. Even at Chelsea, I just feel he's a bit... meh. Look, on his day, he's a typical winger. On his day, very, very difficult to deal with. But I'm very surprised. I think it's a good deal for Chelsea. And I think for Arsenal, I think they could have done better. So, look, he's not a bad player. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a bit... If that's their winger, I wouldn't be losing sleep over it if I'm Liverpool or Man City or Chelsea, to be honest. So, let me run a poll on this, actually. I'm looking forward to this tonight. We've not done a live show on here for ages. Do you think Madueke is a good Arsenal signing? Yes or no? How much are they paying for him? I don't know. I don't know whether we've got anything on that, actually. For some reason, I'm thinking 40 million. Forest have confirmed the signing of Igor Jesus from Botafogo. We watched him last week. He looks like he could be quite decent. Nothing on Alanga yet. Yeah, who do you think's going to win? PSG. What do you think about Marcus Rashford removing Man United from his Twitter? Stay classy, you know. What was it he said in his interview that he wasn't allowed to do at Christmas? I'll read you the quote. Rashford interview. I'll respect Man United. I'm sure he said something. Yeah, listen to this. You can't listen to it. I'm ready for a new challenge. I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. This was in December. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it'll be from me. It's disheartening to be left out of a derby, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, basically, he said, when I leave, I'll do it in a good way. Yeah. It's funny how everyone can sit there and say that from a position of strength. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about Rashford. Madueke is not a bad player, but signing Rodrigo instead takes us to the next level and can hopefully lead us to a Premier League next season, says Amir. Yeah, I think, look, if you're just tuning in, we're about 10 minutes out from the start of this game. Make sure you share the video, get involved. It's PSG against Bayern this Saturday night, Saturday evening. I'm not doing Real Madrid Dortmund at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. I draw the line at the Club World Cup ain't that important to me, but I do want to watch this one. Going back to what we were talking about, there's been some breaking news this afternoon that Madueke is going to sign for Chelsea, for Arsenal, and it looks like it is going to happen. He's a good player, but I just think if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be a little bit disappointed with that. You know, you get linked to Nico Williams, you get linked to Rodrigo, and you sign Madueke. It just feels a little bit like it's another one of those signings that Arteta's got to prove everybody wrong on, hasn't he? He's got to it's a bit like Havertz again, isn't it? Havertz was the same, wasn't it? And again, that was giving Chelsea 70 million. It's weird, actually, isn't it? I mean, I thought Havertz you're basically facilitating Chelsea's, not money laundering, no, but you're facilitating Chelsea's ability to spend silly money on players and then sell them for silly money as well. Sterling didn't work out well last summer. I wouldn't say Havertz has been a rip-roaring success. I just don't understand why you're putting money in the pocket of a rival when you could go and get better from teams that aren't a rival. And I agree with Dougie. For Chelsea, I think it's a fantastic bit of business because you've got Esteval coming in who looks really good. You've got Gittins coming in. You've got Neto already. Madueke goes, and you can probably go and get another winger. They'll probably go for like Garnacho or something like that, won't they? So Arsenal get Madueke. Chelsea get Esteval, Gittins, and Garnacho. I know what I'd rather have. I know what situation I'd rather be in as well. So I think Arsenal are having a bit of a dodgy 24 hours, really, in many different ways, on and off the pitch. I still stand by what I said this morning, by the way. I still don't think Arsenal have handled that Thomas Partey situation very well at all. I'm not saying he should have been suspended. I don't know about employment law, but I don't think they've handled it very well. And if you want to discuss it, that's fine. Madueke, anyway, Amir's an Arsenal fan. He's not very happy. 64% of you are saying Madueke is not a good signing. United should do with Shaw as what Arsenal did with Tomiyasu. I liked that, yeah. I like that. And Arsenal will sign a good striker. I mean, I don't think this is going to be, the end of that. What do you think about Igor Jesus coming to the Prem for Forest? He looks good. Really, I've got to say, I was going to tweet it, but I thought, you know what? People will just take the piss. I'm doing a Club World. I thought I was going to tweet it this morning, and I thought, you know what? I'm doing a Club World Cup watch along later, so I will do it on this show, and I will say it to you right now. If there is any positive from this Club World Cup, and there's not loads, I think it's been a misguided tournament that hasn't really delivered, and I think this is a load of shit as well, having walkouts for players. But it allows me to talk to you, good people. I think the Brazilian teams have really, Ronaldo talks about the Saudi league being in the top 5. It's not better than the Brazilian league, as was proven last night. Fluminense beat Al Hilal, and they both took it really seriously. So the Brazilian league, I think, here's a question for you. Here's a hot take. Here's a Goldbridge hot take. Is the Brazilian league in the top 5 leagues in the world? It's underrated. It's misunderstood. I've always been massively intrigued by it. It is a huge pathway of talent and always has been for many, many years. And in this tournament, there's a multitude of teams that have really shown that they're quality teams. I mean, Palmeiras gave Chelsea a good game. Botafogo gave Palmeiras a good game. Fluminense are going to be in the semi-final against Chelsea, and I'm sure they'll give them a good game as well. So I think that the Brazilian league, how would that fare against the French league or the Portuguese league? So it's interesting. And let's not forget, the Palmeiras are 4th in the Brazilian league at the moment. They're 12 games in. Fluminense are 6th. It's actually Flamengo who are number 1, and they've gone out already. So I think the Brazilian league has done very, very well in this tournament, definitely. And it's certainly better than the Saudi league. And I think it's really, if there's one positive, I really do stand by this. I think it's put a focus on the Brazilian league and giving it a bit of respect, which I don't think many people do because it's South America and it plays at a different time. But I've been really impressed with the intensity they play at as well. I think they're good teams to watch. I like the way they play football, which sounds ridiculous. We're talking about Brazilian football clubs, but we don't get to see a lot of it. I mean, I like watching football. I like keeping an eye on football. I tend to not watch that much outside of the Premier League now post-COVID. I don't know why I stopped doing that, but I do try and catch the highlight shows. It's just difficult to catch highlight shows now because they don't really put them out there as much as they used to, but it's an interesting league. It's done well. United should do with Shaw as Arsenal did with Tomiyasu. Yeah, the players are still walking out doing this individual nonsense. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. Let me do that. Okay, get your comments in anyway. A few interesting things to talk about. I think PSG should be too good for Bayern. I mean, Bayern to me are one of those teams that are very good, but do tend to struggle when the going gets tough. I don't think they're quite there yet, and maybe they won't be. Noah says, utter woke nonsense. Wanyeri to Chelsea, says Alex. I mean, I think that would cause an absolute outrage, wouldn't it? Owen says, Martinelli's better stats and work rate than Madueke, and he isn't good enough either. Arsenal need top quality attacking players to win the league. Owen, thank you very much for your super chats. You can do that and we'll read them out as always. Arsenal fans are a little bit concerned, I would say, about Chelsea's Madueke completing personal terms. What I would say is I think it's a mistake, and I have a feeling Goldbridge's thumb up or thumb down is a new thing on transfers. Clip it, and in a couple of years I'll look clever or stupid. Will Madueke be a success at Arsenal? Thumb up or thumb down? Down. I think he'll be average at best. I don't think he'll be a success. I don't think, and when I say success, has Martinelli been a success at Arsenal? He's been a bit up and down, hasn't he? And that's what I expect with Madueke. I don't see him being the next Overmars or Perez or Saka or anything like that. I think he's going to be quite average, to be fair. Steve Wynyard, thank you very much. You're actually number 1 on our top fans at the moment. We don't get this on the United stand, but we do get it on here. I mean, I don't think it really matters. But anyway, Steve, well done. He's given us a super chat as well. Thank you very much. He says, how would you rank the Brazilian league against all the major European leagues? Above the Eredivisie, League One, up with Serie A and Bundesliga. No. I mean, for me, the Premier League's the best. Then it's La Liga. Then it's Italian League. Then it's the Bundesliga. Or you could swap those two around. So those 4 are comfortably the top 4. There's no doubt about it. I would then say that the 5th best league in the world is up for grabs. Some people would say it's PSG because they're the best team in the world playing in the French league. I think that's a bit dismissive and a little bit blinkered because PSG are the best team in the world, but they're playing in a league that I don't think has a lot of depth. The Portuguese league, again, beyond 3 or 4 teams, doesn't have a lot of depth. Eredivisie is the same. For competitiveness, I think the Brazilian league is the 5th best league in the world. I think it's a really competitive league. Whether the quality stands up or not, I'd say it's quite close between the Brazilian league, the French league, the Eredivisie. I'd say it's quite close, but I'd say the Brazilian league is more interesting to watch because it's more competitive. But I'd have to do some more research on that. I just think they've done really, really well, Let's get ready to start here. Exciting, exciting. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Lots to talk about. Did this on purpose. Left it till just before kickoff. Gaming Gaz says, number 20, rest in peace. I've seen a lot of the pictures today. Masses of people turning up for the funeral of Jota and his brother. I mean, I think we're still in a whirlwind, aren't we, of disbelief. It was on the news actually at 4 o'clock, and they're paying a tribute now here, and they're just showing him. This is not something like. I think the big thing about this is it's a massive tragedy. Of course it is, and it's a huge hole for Liverpool and Liverpool Football Club and his family. Of course it is, and their grief's going to be felt far more than ours. But I see like these tributes on the news, and I see him scoring goals like the goal against Everton, and I think I just can't believe he's not. I can't believe he's gone. And I think that's because it's a current player in their prime. I'm just like, I don't ever remember it happening before. Not in the Premier League anyway. A top quality player at the best team in the world, at the best team in the league in the moment, who wasn't going to be sold. You know, he was going to be there this season, a massive part of it. I mean, I know it's happened. The shock of it happening is still there, but I know it's happened. But I just can't get my head around it that he won't be playing anymore. And every time they show the goals and everything, you just sort of like go, I actually cannot believe this. So yeah, the funeral was today, and obviously, you know, just very, very sad to see. And seeing all the Liverpool players and Portugal players like Bernardo Silva and Bruno there, they're all prepping for a pre-season as well. It's yeah, heartbreaking stuff. Okay, we're up and running here. It's PSG against Bayern. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in. Still, I mean, I must admit, we do watch-alongs here throughout the season in the Premier League and in the Champions League, and I'm not being arrogant, but we'd normally be averaging around 20,000. This is PSG against Bayern Munich in the quarter-final. We've got around 4. I'm sure it will go up a bit as the game goes on. It's a Saturday at 5 o'clock. But I was going to watch this game anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I watched Botafogo against Palmeiras and really enjoyed it last week. But what my bigger point is, look at the stadium again. There's loads of red seats, and I'm like, something has really gone wrong here. Harry Kane's, no, he's got it. It's gone back to the keeper. Something's gone really, really, really wrong, hasn't it? I expected this to be a sellout, and you can see loads of red seats again, and that's on the opposite side of the camera. So I know it's a bit repetitive to say it, but there's just a hell of a lot of empty seats again, and I just don't understand why. What they do about it, really. Will the Club World Cup ever be taken seriously in Europe? Says Boyden. Well, look at the teams. Look at the teams. Kelly says the USA will destroy the World Cup. Right, okay. You've got me going, Kelly, now. I'm going to wear my American hat and back them up. I will prove to you that this has got nothing to do with the American audience. If anything, they're just behaving the same way that we would probably behave if this was in Europe. I don't think people would be turning up for it because I don't think there's any credibility to it, to be honest with you. But listen to this, right? Okay. So, listen to this. So, PSG are just knocking the ball around the back here. So you're basically saying that the Club World Cup has failed because of an American audience, yeah? 21 years ago, in 1994, the Club World Cup happened in the United States. Oh, good interception. PSG should have slipped him in. Why didn't you slip Kvaratskhelia in? Doué. Greedy Doué. Why did he not play that to Kvaratskhelia? Look at this. Kvaratskhelia wins it as well. Oh, he should be getting that back. He should be getting that back. He basically catches the Bayern player in possession. They've got a break and Doué doesn't pass to him. Really selfish that was. Should have passed it back. Innocence of youth. Fantastic player, of course, but yeah, should have given it him back. Anyway, 21 years ago, the World Cup happened in America in 1994. As you can imagine, 21 years ago, soccer, as they call it, was not popular. So to say in 2025 it's the American audience's fault that the Club World Cup has failed, you've got PSG against Bayern playing in a Club World Cup quarter-final, loads of empty seats. Look at some of these stats from 21 years ago in the group stage. Colombia against Romania in the group stage, 91,000 people at the Rose Bowl. Romania against Switzerland, European teams of not great note, 61,000. Switzerland against Colombia, 83,000. Cameroon against Sweden, 93,000. Cameroon against Sweden, 93,000 in a group stage game. Yeah? Sweden against Russia, 71,000. I'm purposely picking games that you'd go, there shouldn't be that many there. Russia, Cameroon, 74,000. Germany against Bolivia, 63,000. South Korea against Bolivia, 55,000. So that was in the group stage. So they will turn up. They will turn up. There'll be massive crowds for the World Cup next year. But I just think when I was in I don't know whether I ever told anybody about this, but about a month ago I went to New York. I kept it quite quiet. I didn't do any Insta stories or mention it on every stream since. But when I was in New York, I was at a couple of events with people, and I was talking to them about the Club World Cup, and the response I basically got was all they wanted to talk about was the World Cup, the Club World Cup. They were sort of like, we're not stupid. We've got loads and loads of sporting events here, like NASCAR, basketball, etc. And we already, we're not stupid. We're not just going to turn up and clap at anything. We know that this is a bit of a first-time tournament that hasn't got the best teams in the world. Bayern with a chance. Elise straight at Donnarumma. Not going to lie, USA 94 was a great World Cup, says Forms. I loved the USA 94 World Cup. It was a weird one for me because Italia 90 was my first World Cup. I was 10, and it was my first experience of a World Cup that I can remember. I vaguely remember 86, but not enough to remember it in any detail. So I loved Italia 90, Gaza, Pavarotti. Pavarotti wasn't playing for Italy, by the way, just sang Nessun Dorma. So I was really excited about 94 because I was at secondary school then. I was 14. And then England was shit and we didn't qualify. So this great big World Cup, and it was in the United States, so it was a massive big thing. Loads of build-up. But it was still brilliant, even though England weren't in it. Sort of supported Ireland, Ray Houghton against Italy. Then I wanted Italy to win it. Brazil were brilliant. I just completely and utterly immersed myself in it. But it was weird, England not being in it, I must admit. If a Chelsea player wants to be at Arsenal, then they don't belong with us. Good business, I would say, for Chelsea. Rub, I think Madueke to Arsenal is a great deal for Chelsea. I don't think it's a good deal for Arsenal. Anthony Taylor's the referee here. You know what? That is not something I... You know over the summer when you sort of get... what do they call it? Reminiscent of football in a positive way. Anthony Taylor's just made me think about, I don't want football back. Him and Michael Oliver back next season. Can I just say this as well? Have you noticed how the PGMOL have got worse now? They just sweep everything under the carpet completely. I mean, they've done nothing about that Villa goal at Old Trafford that could have cost them Champions League football. Absolutely nothing. I've not heard an apology or anything. I mean, that's a goal, and they've done nothing. Just remember that's what our PGMOL do. Nothing about major events. PSG down the right hand, Bayern down the right hand side. Looks like Robben. Can't be. I think it was Lema, and it might just be the camera. Just feels like it's about 20 miles away. It was Lema. It definitely wasn't Robben because it was a right-footed cross. There's no way he would have took this many touches with his right. His right foot was for standing on. That was it. Humble Fox, happy birthday. Would love a shout out. Of course you can, mate. If I'd have seen it in the live chat, I would have said it anyway. A happy birthday to Humble Fox. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much, everybody who's tuning in. Yeah, 8 o'clock show on the United Stand. And then I'm off out to watch a film. I'm not going to tell you what. I've got no chance of me telling you what. Although I probably have limited it down now to all the films in the cinema that somebody could be an arsehole and give me every spoiler about. But no, I'm off. I'm not doing that. Pipera says the Brazilian league is better than the French and German league. I'm sure I've been clipped up on the start. Put it on TikTok. Let the comments debate. Quite a good game, this, in the first 10 minutes. Been quite equal. PSG having... Oh, look at the pace of Barcola here, though. Dembele's on the bench. Somebody was just asking. Yeah, Bayern Munich have started off very energetically here. Hope everything's all good, mate, says Harkey. Thanks, pal. Hope you're all right. Bit disappointed weather-wise today. It's not been the best day in the UK. It's been really hot all week during the working week and the school week. Hit Saturday and it's been a bit rubbish, but you know. WN is. Have you watched any Wimbledon? Mrs. Goldbridge likes watching Wimbledon, so it's always on in the kitchen. But I have, you know, occasionally I've been sort of watching it a little bit, but yeah, I don't watch it as much as I used to be fair. You know Infantino, the president of FIFA, to me he always looks like he hasn't got a bloody clue what day it is. Nice play. Here's Hakimi. Going to lose that. Bayern win it back. Elise on the right-hand side. He's done really well at Bayern, hasn't he? I've got to learn this for next season. Stop praising players on the ball because they tend to... I mean, statistically, I wonder how many of them actually do mess up when they've got the ball. But nice ball by João Neves. Plays the 1-2, gives the ball away. See, so, guarantee, if I give anybody any praise, you can guarantee they're going to give the ball away. Although Hakimi's just caught one on the foot here. Hopefully he'll be all right. Interesting question. Interesting question. When's everybody's first pre-season game? Because I think Man United's is 2 weeks today. We play Leeds 2 weeks today, I think. Yeah, 2 o'clock, 2 weeks today. And then it all starts again, doesn't it? It's relentless then, you know. Fasten your seatbelts because pre-season games happen every 3 or 4 days and, you know, we're back into the new season. Going to be a weird season next year. It's going to be weird, United not being in Europe. I mean, I know we've done it before, but it's going to be weird. I mean, there is a positive. I don't have to do anything on a Thursday night anymore. Those European weeks were long. And I love the Champions League now, so I'll really be able to just focus on that on a Tuesday, Wednesday. But heading towards a World Cup as well. I always love the season before the World Cup. Stop depressing us, Mark. Mate, we don't deserve to be in Europe. I'm going into it like... I'm waiting to see what United are going to do. That's how I'm going into it. Shit season last year. Deservedly shit where we ended up. What's the response? Rajaf says, shouldn't Arsenal be strengthening their left wing instead of the right wing? They have Saka. They should be looking at Rodrigo. I think they're going to put Madueke on the left, aren't they? Look, I've got to be honest. I'm not impressed with the Madueke Arsenal signing. I think Mascara is an interesting signing. Zubimendi is a good signing. And I do think that Sesko or Gyökeres is a very good signing. So I think Arsenal have made some good deals. But I've got to say, I'm not impressed by Madueke at all. Especially when you're getting linked to Rodrigo and Nico Williams. But I suspect what you're going to do is, instead of spending, a lot of money on Rodrigo, you're probably going to buy Madueke and Eze, aren't you? So if that's what happens, you can understand it. Would you rather have Eze and Madueke or just Rodrigo? And I think that for Arsenal, they'd probably rather have the two, wouldn't they? Is the new Williams contract going to help us sell Rashford faster and no loans as who to blame? I don't know. I'm talking about that on the 8 o'clock show, but I don't really know, if I'm being honest. If it's 28 years later, you'll love the Alpha. Says B16. If you know, you know. Rock RDA says, I'm not going to lie, Mark. My buddies and I didn't go due to the ICE presence and my buddy not having his legal status situated. That didn't help tickets, says Rock RDA. Oh, okay, yeah. Will you be seeing Superman next week, Mark? I haven't watched Superman since Christopher Reeve died, out of respect. I didn't protest or anything like that, but I haven't watched the Henry Cavill ones. I just refuse to watch it. There's only one Superman. Christopher Reeve. TTV Videos says, Madueke is just another inconsistent winger. And Chelsea will deliver another garbage. I love it, says Norbert. Chelsea, I don't know what it is about Chelsea, but Mason Mount from Man United, 55 million with a year left on his contract. Idiots. Havertz to Arsenal for 68 million. Idiots. And then they're going to do the... There's probably more, isn't there? Do you think Chelsea can win the Club World Cup? Mate, if you can get to the final on the easy route, you've only got to turn up in the final, haven't you? Although Palmeiras gave him a bit of a game yesterday. And Elise here again. Bayern have been the better team in the last 10 minutes. I don't know what the stats say, but I definitely feel that they have been. Let's have a look. Yeah, PSG have had more possession, but I just feel like Bayern have had a little bit more cutting edge, probably on the break then, to be fair. Brighton have bought somebody, haven't they? Some left back from... What's his name? I can't remember where he's from, actually. They have bought some left back. I'm going to the Finnish conscription on Monday. Bit nervous, but also excited. I'm going to miss my girl in the United Watchalongs. Wish me luck, says Eric. What's the Finnish conscription? Is that like called up to the army or something? Is that like... Does everybody have to do that? Lovely ball out from the midfield there. Here we go. Bayern Munich got some options as he drives forward. He's got to go left. He does. Good tackle. João Neves gets caught there. Luke says, I hope Bayern win. No disrespect to PSG, but they've already won the lot, and I would love to see Harry Kane and the German Giants do well. It's mandatory in Finland. Finished mine last December. How long do you have to go for? I'm going to read about this. I know, didn't Son have to do it? Conscription in Finland is part of a general compulsion for national military service for all adults. I don't know how it works. Universal male conscription is in place. Hold on. Kvaratskhelia, back post. Oh, side netting from Hakimi's crossed. It was a tough angle. Universal male conscription is in place, under which all mentally and physically capable men serve 165, 255, or 347 days from the year they turn 18 until the year they turn 29. I wonder, that is interesting, isn't it? Luke says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Luke. As a Derby fan, football is hard to watch at times, but your streams keep me enjoying the game we love. Well, thank you very much, Luke. Everybody's welcome on here. Happy birthday. Rub says, I've heard that Chelsea are getting closer to Kudus. Wouldn't be surprised. Kudus, Gittins, and Estevao. It's incredible, isn't it? And you get Madueke. I mean, I'd rather have... Who would you rather have, Kudus or Madueke? There's the next poll. 61% say it's a bad signing. So if Chelsea get Kudus funded by Arsenal, who's better? Watch Chelsea go and finish above Arsenal now. Another injured player down here for Bayern. João Pedro had a good game last night, says Senny. I think it's just the volume of players that Chelsea buy, isn't it? Mixter says Madueke's better. He's got leadership. Will says, are you going to do both semi-finals? When are they? Wednesday at 8. I bet it's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, I probably will. Fluminense against Chelsea on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll do the semis, yeah. I'll do the semis in the final. Why not? Unless I get a better option. When's the final? Sunday at 8. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not doing Real Madrid later, but I'll do the semis in the final. Unless I get a better offer. And when I say a better offer, I mean, if John says you fancy a couple of pints down the local, I'd consider it. And I don't even like John. He bores the shit out of me. But I'll probably choose that. If Man United lose 5 players in, we will need more signings to make up the players. That's the real positive. Do you think all 5 will leave, says Henry? Well, I think they need to leave, don't they? Lovely play here by PSG. Passing lanes, out wide. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Lovely ball, overlap, cuts it back. He's going to shoot. Oh, that's a shit shot. Ruiz. I mean, he's got to do better there. He knows it. Too much height on it. Edge of the box. The technique's good. There's just too much height on it. Dav, thanks for the super chat. Uh, 78%. Oh my God, Arsenal fans, you're not going to like this. 78% have gone Kudus over Madueke so far. Brav. Dee. I've got a couple of either ors for you actually that I had prepared, which I'll bring you some in a minute. I'm going to close that one down. Kudus versus Madueke. It's an absolute bloodbath. Here's one for you as well. Who should Arsenal sign? Gyökeres or Sesko? Not who they will sign. Who they will? Who you think? Who you think you would sign? Basically, 25 minutes nearly gone here. Still 0-0. 2 years ago today, Mason Mount signed for Manchester United from Chelsea. You're trying to ruin my bloody day. Who's put that in there? That's what she said. 2 years ago today, we signed Mason Mount. Oh, God. At least there's no pictures. Absolute shit show. I mean, that's a warning to Arsenal. That's a sign. Don't sign Madueke. Why do all these forwards want to go to Chelsea if they already have so many? Do you think they just do it for the money? Just move maniac. I think I don't think Chelsea have a massive wage. I don't know what the incentive is with Chelsea. You know, they've not got a great ground. It's not like a super stadium, is it? I don't think they pay huge wages because they've got a wage structure. They put you on a long contract. I don't know. They must just have really good recruiters. Vitinha, lovely play there. I don't know whether a long contract's a lovely little flick by Barcola there out to Hakimi. And that's a lovely pass as well. Oh, this is lovely play by PSG. But Bayern have got their defensive shape set up well there. But there was a lovely little interchange from PSG, which is why they're a joy to watch. And here's Kvaratskhelia down the left-hand side. And that's a good cross. Just above Hakimi. That's how quick they can be, PSG. Vitinha. I don't necessarily... Here's Kvaratskhelia again. Oh, he lays it off badly. I don't necessarily think a long contract for a player is a good thing. Gyökeres and Sesko is 50-50. Great. We love a 50-50. Bayern coming forward now. But if I'm like I don't know, Madueke, and I signed for Chelsea... Sorry, that's the wrong example. If I'm Kudos and I signed for Chelsea on a 7-year deal on, let's say, 200 grand a week. Okay, I've got a 7-year deal on 200 grand a week and I'm basically going to earn that money. But you'd want a good wage so that you're guaranteed it, aren't you? Because if you're someone like Cole Palmer, there's no point having a 7-year contract on 150k a week because you're going to expect to be better than that, aren't you? You've got me thinking now, Chelsea wage bill. Good save, Donnarumma. Ridiculous angle from Elise, but yeah, he's a tough goalkeeper to beat. Good play this, Elise. Skips past Mendes. Good. It's a good shot. I tell you what, it's a very good save. It's a very good save by Donnarumma. And Arna ain't saving that. And again, and Arna ain't saving a Word document. So, Chelsea's top salaries, apparently, are this. Raheem Sterling's on 325k a week. God, that's got to hurt. Reece James on 250. Wesley Fofana's on 200. Chilwell's on 200. And Nkunku's on 195. Enzo Fernandez is on 180 grand. Cucurella 175. Headed away by PSG. João Felix 170. Neto's on 160. Casido's on 150. And apparently Cole Palmer's on 130 grand. So that's what I mean. Like, there's no point having a 7-year contract and being on 150 grand a week. What colour socks are you wearing today? Not wearing socks. I'm in the shorts and no socks mode at the moment. Look at those stats. Bayern with the only 2 shots on target. PSG not been that good in the attacking sense so far. Garfield, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Hi, Mark. Still think Rasmus is better than Saka? Playing the different positions, Hambo. Just going to ignore the stupidity of that comment. It's Chelsea, the vibe. We win Champions Leagues and Premier League, says Rub. Nathan C says, I've seen all the vids from Oasis. It looked brilliant. Yeah, it did. And I thought the tribute to Jota on the song Live Forever was great. Rajaf says, Madueke has the insane aura and the mentality, but sadly not as good as Cole Palmer. Gyökeres and Sesko locked on 50-50 is surprising. Who should Arsenal sign? I'll tell you what, this is probably the problem that Berta, the director of football, and Arteta have got. Harry makes a good point. What do you rate of Burnley transfers for next season, as you've always gone about how teams who get promoted need to buy Premier League proven players? Who have Burnley bought? I don't actually know who they've bought. I know Kyle Walker's going there. Let's have a look. Kyle Walker, Twan Sebi, Marcus Edwards from Sporting's an interesting one. Jaden Anthony. I mean, look, they're having. Look, I personally think if you want to stay up in the Prem, you've got to go and get players like Kyle Walker, Tarkovsky, people like that, experienced players, because you're not going to stay up. The gap's too big. So you've got to try and survive. Hambo says, he who hounded out Rashford dismisses my comment. Oh, shut up, you twat. The only person who hounded Rashford out at Manchester United is Amorim, and fair play. It's about bloody time a manager started getting rid of Player FC. How do you rate Company as a coach, says Move Maniac? I don't, really. I think Bayern Munich is the sort of... Oh, lovely. What a ball. Here's Kvaratskhelia out on the left-hand side. Goes past his player. He's going to go... Oh, good play. Good save by Neuer. That transition there from Doué into Kvaratskhelia, and then he just absolutely destroys the Bayern defender. It's just the transition from one side of the pitch to the other. It's so impressive. Yeah, I don't rate Company, Move Maniac. I think he was a hipster at Burnley who got them relegated, and then, you know, for some reason landed the Bayern job, where I genuinely think Roberto Martinez would do a good job. I don't think Bayern is a... I think the only way you can improve... That's a great save by Neuer as well. That is a great save by Neuer. We couldn't really see it on the first replay. So Donnarumma and Neuer have made two very similar saves from wingers. Got another Bayern player down injured here. It was Barcola, not Doué, says Addy. Thank you very much. The camera angle is shit, mate. It's so far away. That's why I couldn't even see that on the first viewing how good a save that was from Neuer. That's a great save by Neuer. Really good. That's better than Donnarumma's. That is a brilliant save. Well, there's a substitute in here for Bayern. Player coming off. Happy birthday to Lara. Big fan, says Mark Foley. Happy birthday, Lara. Sad says, why are you looking hot today? Don't know. I've had a shave. I'm getting worried about United's transfer window, Mark, says Thierry. Jaden Anthony is a terrible combo of names, says Kenneth. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Thank you very much. 6,000 tuning in. Well done. Always a difficult... Some people would say to me, why are you watching the Club World Cup? To which I'd say it's a very good question. I just quite fancied PSG Bayern when I saw it. And I thought, I'll watch that. So... I gave Hambo 3 chances. He's gone. We're not even going to read what he said there. Favourite player from Finland, says Roop. Jari Litmanen. It's hard because I can't think of any Finnish players that haven't played for Liverpool. So as a United fan, favourite is a little bit over the top. But I liked him at Ajax. Sensible soccer legend. Rest in peace, Diego and Andre. You'll never walk alone, says Dav. Lovely message there, mate. Obviously, the funeral today, which was... I'm just still in shock, as we were talking about at the start of the stream. Bayern nearly scored there. He nearly got lobbed, Donnarumma. Guarantee you, Mark, that Henderson and Walker are on the plane going to the World Cup next year. Yeah. Amir, I'm already detecting with England that as much as I dislike Southgate, it hasn't solved the problem. It's just weird. It's just not the way I would run England as a nation. Henderson, Walker would never play again. It's just mates rates again, isn't it? England just needs to stop. I thought Tuchel, being German and needing to get results, I thought he would actually get rid of the mate rate bollocks, but no. He actually embraces it. I wish my son, Damila, happy 5th birthday. Love you, son, says Aladimi. Lovely message there. Happy birthday to Damila. So we are still... I tell you what, it's been a long... This is what I find about the Club World Cup. It's an endurance test. They are long games. Really long games. I know they're not longer than normal, but they feel like really long games. Harry says, what about the other promoted teams? I haven't heard anything about signings for any of the other promotional teams, apart from... Bellingham leaving Sunderland. I don't know whether Leeds have done any business yet. Garfield says, what are people's view on Ronaldo not going to the funeral of Jota? I'll just say this now. I don't know who went. I just saw some pictures and footage. I saw Bernardo Silva. Obviously, a lot of Liverpool players there. Bruno Fernandes. I don't know whether Mo Salah went. I don't know whether Alisson went. I don't know whether Alexi McAllister went. I don't know whether Gravenberch went. I don't know whether Ronaldo went. It's ridiculous that anybody thinks that people haven't gone because they don't give a shit. And people have different reasons why they're not there. And, you can't start judging people. I mean, I saw some people saying it took Salah time to post about it. You can't be a grief merchant telling people how to grieve. I mean, people like Mo Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo have spent time with Jota. Like, playing with him, training with him, travelling with him. Who is some prat on Twitter to say Salah should have tweeted by now or Ronaldo should have gone to the funeral? I unfortunately, I've been to quite a few funerals, and the times I've been to them and certain people haven't been there for various reasons. It's just incredible. I suppose it's the world we live in now, isn't it? I did the video on Jota the other day, and people were criticising that. I did it. Oh, Harry Kane just heads it over the bar from a chance. I did it straight away because I know this community, and like I did the video about Thomas Partey. Completely different things, but I know people want to talk about it, and I knew with the Jota thing, people were in shock. I was in shock, and I wanted to do a video because as a Man United fan, I felt that every football fan was feeling very similar to me, and lo and behold, in the comments, that's what happened. Some people criticised that, and I didn't wait 2 days to do the video because I saw loads of people were doing videos and I'll do a video now. I did it straight away, and we turned monetization off. I don't know whether everybody else did that, but the point is, people will criticize you for everything. I find it incredible that Ronaldo would be getting some criticism for not going to the funeral. I just think it's ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. I guarantee. I don't think Arne Slot was there either. Like, you just, I just find it. Look, it's a tragic loss of 2 lives, and I think everybody in football feels that. Good block. Bayern could win this, you know. Another good chance there. Slot was there. Sorry. Look, again, I don't know who was there and who wasn't there. I can only say what I've seen. Wish done that from Holiday. Look, was Jurgen Klopp there? I don't know. What I'm trying to say, and I should have just said it in a very short way, was it's not like people aren't turning up because they're being disrespectful, you know? And I think that's what people are trying to insinuate, which is incredible. Penelope says, to be fair, I don't think the press have handled this well. Daily Mail have been a disgrace. I mean, I don't want to offend Liverpool fans, so I'll tell you this right now. If you don't want to listen to this, don't just turn it off until probably 2 minutes' time. I am absolutely sort of disgusted by some of the stuff I've seen. We saw it with the Indian plane crash as well. The morbidity of the reporting is just disgusting, really. I mean, look, most people, different countries report things differently. I remember being on holiday in Mallorca, and we were sat having a beer, and it was at the time when, remember, there was a lot of people getting taken hostage and beheaded, and in the UK they would, they'd just say they've been beheaded. And I was in Spain, and on the news it had very graphic pictures, and I was like, what the fuck, what's going on? So people do report things in different ways, but it's never really been the way in the UK. And yeah, I'm not going to say the things, but some of the stuff about must have been speeding and all this sort of stuff, it's disgusting. It doesn't change the fact that it's a tragic loss of 2 lives and people are grieving. We don't need a breakdown of a timeline of what happened or anything like that. Great save by Donnarumma again. Bayern should be winning this game. Apart from that Kvaratskhelia chance, I think they've been the better side. Here's Koeman down the left-hand side. Puts the cross in. Cleared away. I don't know why this game's not on Channel 5. Like, I'm watching it on DAZN, but it's a streaming service, so I hate streaming services because they're delayed and whatever. If it's on terrestrial TV, you get a better feed. But I don't know why Channel 5 haven't got quarterfinals. I think they've got Real Madrid later, but why have they not got this? Rub says, the problem with the world now is that we start to judge people without context and yet don't know what others are going through. Be good and wish best for others. You will get inner peace, man, says Rub. Somebody clipped me up on Thursday because we're doing the United Stand show. and basically tried to make it out that I didn't give a shit about what had happened to Jota. And initially there was people replying saying, you know, he deserved to burn at the stake and all this sort of stuff. And thankfully, a lot of people were going, you're an absolute shithead. Like, you've took a tiny bit of the clip that is totally out of context when he spent the first 10 minutes talking about Jota on a Man United news show. And that's what people... You're absolutely spot on, Rub. There's some horrible people out there. Context is key. That's why I always remind myself there's two sides to a story. And I never take anything on X, and I never take a clip and think that's the full story. Here's Elise. You can't trust one source now, basically. PSG are going to need to change this. They're really struggling. Really, really struggling. KD says, I've just joined the stream. First thing I hear is you're an absolute shithead. Gotta love Goldbridge. Media is soulless. I think traditional media has lost its way. I really do. I think they're hanging on to, you know... But oh, that's terrible. Koeman. Musiala. Slips. Still got it. Cross. Cleared. I think the media are losing their way. But on the other hand, might be controversial, I also think that the new media is not regulated well enough. And what I mean by that is that, you know, you look at somebody like Speed, who's heading on his European tour again with his camera guy walking around the world doing live streams, right? That's great content, and I do like it. But where's the safety net there? Like, certain things could get said on live streams, certain things could happen on live streams, and I think that's the... I'm boring myself. But what I'm trying to say is that, look, I do think regulation and standards are important. But in general context, the content is shit from the mainstream now. Mark Garfield says you should do an Agony Bridge show for questions. I'll do it now. Amir says people just want attention on social media, Mark. I said that the other day. I said it on the morning that we heard about Jota and his brother. I said on the day to Liverpool fans and anybody that was going to get offended, goal! That is a goal for Bayern. We'll come back to that in a minute because it's a very important point. But Upamecano, 1-0 to Bayern. Could be offside. Could be offside. Remind me to come back to that point because it's a very good one. Oh, miles off. Miles off. Ref, do your job. Do your job, pal. That's terrible refereeing. About 50 of them offside. There's only 10 there. Yeah, as I was saying there, I said on the morning that when we did the Jota video that there will be plenty of people out there saying vile things. I've seen it in some of our comments. Jokes. It's not a joke, is it? It's just being an absolute cunt. But you know people are going to do that. They do it for attention, don't they? It's a good header by Upamecano as well, but they're just miles offside. We've got a couple of minutes here. 52% of you have gone with Sesko over Gyökeres on who Arsenal should sign next. Who they should sign as their striker, by the way. We'll close that off. What's happened here? Oh, no, this does not look good. The players are walking away. Donnarumma's upset. Oh, my God. Cameras aren't showing it. You know what? Might give a penalty, but I don't think that's going to matter. Well, this was the fear of... some people said, do we need this tournament? What about player injuries? And I think a lot of people were talking about fatigue. This is not a fatigue injury. This is a collision. Basically, last minute of the half, ball comes into the box. Musiala's chasing it down. Donnarumma just slides out at speed, gets the ball first, gets the player second. They've gone to an advert here. Yeah. I don't know whether they've gone to half-time. I didn't see what happened. I just saw a lot of people in the chat. Let's see if we can go back. Trying to see. I mean, I don't... Oh, Hakimi there. Here it is. So it slipped through by Elise. Yeah. Yeah, I see what's happened now. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's, he sort of gets stuck under Donnarumma's body, but as he goes over Donnarumma, I'm literally telling you, his ankle's is like that. It's literally flopping like that. It's completely. If your foot's meant to go like that way, it's like that. It's not necessarily putting him out the World Cup. It's not necessarily a career ender these days. Absolutely not. Sometimes, if it's a clean break, it's better than, you know, shatter. So hopefully he'll be okay, but in the long run. But he ain't going to be playing for the start of the season. It's one of those. These look. Obviously, thoughts with Musiala at the moment. He's going to be in a lot of pain. He's going to be in a lot of stress. And we've just got to wish that his recovery is quick. It won't be a career ender at all. We've seen. I remember Antonio Valencia. I've seen that a few times. We have seen it a few times. It's not nice to look at. You can see it on the replay. If you're on DAZN, just take it back. I'd say it comes with a warning, but we've seen it before. I think he will be certainly back playing, but obviously it's always bad when it's one of the better younger players. But I mean, I think Bayern Munich have lost 2 players in this half, haven't they? Harvey Elliott had it as well, says LM258. Is season over before it even started? Just Travers. Can we blame the Club World Cup? He could do that in pre-season, though. As much as I don't think the Club World Cup was a good idea in relation to player welfare, I think that could happen in pre-season. It's a collision, isn't it? It's an impact. It's, you could be in training and that could happen. It's one of those. Yeah. B16 says, should that be a penalty? I'm going to try and see it without seeing it, if you know what I mean. I think he gets the ball first. No, it's not a penalty. It's definitely not a penalty. He dives onto the ball and catches the player. But the problem is, Donnarumma is it's like Tyson Fury jumping on you, isn't it? It's just, he's in the air diving onto your ankle, basically. But very very disturbing to see. A lot of people saying it's reckless. Well, look, I'm not the ref. Leave it to them. I don't think it's a penalty, but you could argue that it was reckless. Let's do a poll on it instead of shouting and being abusive. Grow up and vote on it. Was it a penalty? Kevin says, somebody in the chat says maybe it's just a strain. I think they're taking the piss. It is half-time anyway. Obviously, no penalty is going to get given because it is half-time. Bayern Munich have played well. They're showing the replay now. They're actually showing the replay here. Harry Kane was pointing out to Donnarumma what had happened. Donnarumma clearly distressed by it. Look, it's horrible because it's happened to a player that most of us think is a fantastic player. The reality is these things happen and will continue to happen. You just got to hope that he can recover and it doesn't cause him long-lasting issues in his career. Football just doesn't feel the same after Jota's death. I'm sure things will turn right upside for a month, but it's in a few months, but it still hurts as a sports fan. I mean that's completely and utterly rational to feel like that. Imagine what Liverpool fans are feeling at the moment. They won't want the season to start. So it's normal to feel like that. B16 says it is football. It's a contact sport. It's sad, but that's the risk you take. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was trying to say in a way. It's like, just because somebody ends up with a really bad injury doesn't seem someone has to get a red card. Like, these things can happen. People will blame the tournament for the injury, says Sebastian. Look, if the tournament didn't happen, he wouldn't be injured. But it's not the sort of injury I was talking about. I was talking about fatigue and tiredness. I mean, that's the sort of injury that could happen in a pre-season game on Monday. Yeah. How long do you think the recovery will last, says Dolman? It won't be 12 months. I don't know why people are talking about 12 months. You think about it. If it's a broken bone, then, you know, it could be 6 months. Depends whether there's ligament damage or anything like that as well. But I don't think it'll be a year. I think he'll be back playing by February. I think people over-exaggerate just because somebody's ankle's obviously done that. But it doesn't work like that. If it's a clean break and there's no complications and it mends well, he could be back in 6 months. Obviously, then you've got to get the match shot. No, I wouldn't look. The World Cup's in 12 months. I wouldn't be worried about that. His only issue with the World Cup will be coming back and getting injured again, which obviously is a risk when you've been out for a long time. And hopefully he will be back. But you know what? Again, you're telling me in the World Cup that everyone we think is going to be there is going to be there. Like, there will be injuries. It always happens. And the stupid thing about the FIFA Club World Cup is they're jeopardising the FIFA World Cup next summer, because how many players are going to pick up injuries next season because they've been overplayed this summer? Just wait till the season starts. They're going to drop like flies, says Nicholas. Well, that's the concern, isn't it? If I was Chelsea or Man City or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or PSG, I don't know whether you can afford to do it, but I would be desperately trying to give players a month off during the season. Thank you very much for that super chat, Nicholas. Yeah, we're at half time here. 0-0. Bayern have been the better side, in my opinion. I know it says on stats it's been quite equal, but I feel like Bayern Munich have been the better team. What about Rashford to Bayern now, says Gideon? Well, Nico Williams refuses to go to Barcelona. Musiala, serious injury. Bayern and Barcelona will be in the market. I don't know whether you'd replace Musiala with Rashford. Not quite the same player. Harvey Elliott was out for about 5 months as B16. This is what I mean. You'd be surprised how quickly players can come back, especially younger players. Look, we wish him all the best. He's a fantastic player, and hopefully he won't be out for too long. What about Bayern going for Nkunku? Says Calvin. I mean, he's very injury prone. Jacob says, you're great company. Thank you for being here with us, Jacobs. Emmanuel says, Ronaldo has been pelted by Portuguese fans for not showing up at the funeral. His reason, he didn't want to create a media circus around him instead of the burial. I can completely understand that as well. I mean, I don't know the accuracy of either of those reports, but if Cristiano Ronaldo turns up at that funeral, then it won't distract what the funeral's about, but there'd be a lot of eyes on Ronaldo. And it's his family, his mum and dad have lost their 2 kids, and his wife has lost her husband, and her kids have lost a father. It's about their grief. It's about their loss of life. If Ronaldo turns up and everyone's got their pictures on Ronaldo, I completely agree with him not going to it. I completely agree with him. He's clearly devastated by it. He's expressed that straight away. And if he hasn't gone to it for that, then you can understand it. Completely understand it. As I was saying before, what's the story? He hasn't gone, and he's explained why he hasn't gone. So the people who are moaning about him not going, what are you moaning about? Because he's explained why he's not gone. Or are you trying to say he's disrespectful, which is the biggest load of shit ever? And ultimately, it's Jota and his brother's funeral. What are we talking about Ronaldo for? He's proven the point. Proven the point exactly. People start talking about him. It's meant to be a day of reflection and mourning for Jota and his brother. Harvey Elliott was out for almost 5 months as B16. Thank you very much. I think people even creating the narrative about him turning up is appalling, says Sight. Yeah, disrespectful. It's disrespectful for what today is actually all about. But this is what I mean. There are people in this world now who will find something to blame and moan about everything. Absolutely everything. Ben J, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Lawson Gray's almost done 30,000 steps today. That is good. How do you get them in? What do you do? Tell how many steps I've done today. It won't be many. If I've done 7, I'll be happy. I bet I haven't. Not 7,000, not 7. I'm having a recuperation day today. God, that's crap. 7,200 steps. Rubbish. Yeah, strain 4.4, crap. I don't care. Saturday. Ben J, thank you very much for becoming a member. We appreciate you getting your badge in, like Garfield. Lovely to see some support in the members section. Also, Cedric Saunders says different sports though. McGregor was out for longer because of the amount of force applied to that part of the leg. Yeah. It's really difficult recovering from an injury like that if you're an MMA fighter and you're actually somebody who, who's physically fighting people, isn't it? 30k is around 3 hours of normal walking, says Paras. Thank you very much. G96 says, the modern world is stupid. People care more about celebrities than actually think about the ones who have lost their family members. Yeah, exactly. Think of it like this, right? You know somebody who is a celebrity, yeah? And you're not a celebrity. And then you have a funeral and that celebrity turns up. It distracts from what that's all about. And I think that's what Ronaldo's just done, isn't it? He's just gone, look, if I turn up, doesn't become about me, but it becomes a distraction. And I don't want that. Out of respect, I do not want that. I've given this tournament a shot, but how they got so much money for half-empty stadiums will always be a wonder for me. I'm really disappointed. Really disappointed by the attendance here. I mean, I don't know whether we've got anybody who can justify it, but it's Bayern Munich against PSG. It's the best team in the world against one of the most famous teams in the world. And again, it's pretty much empty. Well, it's not empty, but it's certainly not full. It's half full at best. You can see the red seats. Contest says, what do you think of the tournament? Negative or happy with the games? Well, not just me. Tell me what you think. 58% of you said it shouldn't have been a penalty. Let me run a poll on the tournament. Let's say success or failure. Club World Cup. Success or failure. And I'll talk about it when you've had time to vote, because I don't want to influence. Angry Brit says, I've given it a shot, but how they got so much money for half-empty stadiums will always be a wonder. So Nabry's going to come on for Musiala. The thing about Vincent Kompany is that even with Musiala out, they'll still win the league, won't they? Second half's about to kick off here. I'll tell you what as well, what I won't miss. I mean, look at them empty seats now. Look at that. It's like it's like asking bloody Rochdale to play Swindon in a big stadium. That's crap. You get more at the National League final at Wembley. That's dreadful. Two of the bigger teams in the world in a quarter-final. We've kicked off for the second half there. It's currently 1 p.m. Saturday in Atlanta, so no excuse. We've not kicked off yet because they've just gone back to restart it. I've just reminded myself, actually, about something. This is something I won't miss about the Club World Cup, and I'll dread in the World Cup next year. These games kick off at 5 o'clock, and we're not kicking off the second half until 10 past the hour. That's not right. So a game kicks off at 5 o'clock, and it's an hour and 10 until the second half starts. I know we had an injury to Musiala, but every game's been like that. Is it NFL season, says Benja? No, I think NFL starts in September, doesn't it? I saw something about August, but I think that's pre-season. So Buffalo Bills are a team I quite like. And their pre-season starts on the 9th of August. They have good pre-season though, because they play good teams. So the Bills play the Giants on August the 9th. Then they play the Chicago Bears on the 17th. And they play Tampa on the 23rd. A lot of injuries in this game. September the 7th is when it starts. NFL. I love the NFL. I mean, I do the Super Bowl on here, but it's such a short season. Free kick for PSG here. Rob Always United says, big up to you and the amazing community. It's always a blast. Thank you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Angry Brit says, I think the real question is the tournament money enough to warrant potentially injuries hurting the individual club's league chances? So is the tournament money better than the league, says Angry. Can't you remember, though, Real Madrid were not going to do this tournament? I mean, I can't remember when they decided they were going to do it, but I do definitely remember Real Madrid saying they weren't going to do it. Let me have a look if I can find anything about it. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti said the club will refuse to take part in the first edition of FIFA's new Club World Cup tournament next summer, citing a lack of financial incentive. Bloody hell. That was on June the 10th, 2024. Expanded competition is set to take place in the United States. 29 of the 32 places have already been filled. And Ancelotti said players and clubs won't participate in that tournament. One single Real Madrid game is worth €20 million, and FIFA won't want to give us that amount for the entire competition. Just like us, other clubs will refuse the invitation. Yeah. So it was a financial thing, really. Here we go. Oh, good save by Neuer again. Oh, this camera's too far away. Was that Barcola? I think it was Barcola through one-on-one. I think Kvaratskhelia is a fantastic player, yes. People talking about it in the chat. Neuer is probably man of the match at the moment. What's your thoughts on Kyle Walker going to Burnley, says Kieran. Lock up your wives. No. It'd be a good signing for them. Whether he's still good enough, I don't know. But yeah, it'd be a good signing for them. Yeah, it was Barcola. Yeah, good save by Neuer. He'd expect to save it. It's quite close to him, but you still got to save him. Suleiman says, I'm very disappointed at the way Europeans are treating the Club World Cup. I agree that the scheduling's terrible, but the idea is a good one. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, mate. On the poll at the moment, Club World Cup, success or failure. Success 26% and failure 74%. My stance on it then, because a lot of people have voted now, my stance on the Club World Cup is that player welfare, it's a joke. Players cannot play this intensity for 12 months. It's ridiculous. PSG basically went from a long season winning the Champions League straight into this, and they'll go straight into another season, then they'll go straight into a World Cup. That's incredibly dense from FIFA. And ultimately, quality will stop. And look at what's happened to Musiala. Like, if he misses the World Cup, which he won't, but whoever misses, there will be a point where the quality of football dilutes because we lose players because of the intensity. So that's one reason I'm not a big fan of it. But my main issue has always been that you're trying to sell water to people who've got it at home for free. And yeah, some people will buy bottled water, but they're not going to buy loads of it to have a bath when they can just turn the tap on at home. And the Club World Cup, it just has not offered a differential. When I think about the Euros or the Champions League new format or the World Cup, everyone's excited at the start of the tournament. Everyone's watching Saudi Arabia play Cameroon because it's the World Cup. You'd never watch Saudi Arabia play Cameroon if it was an international week. But you'll watch it in the World Cup because you're excited about it. And that's where this has gone wrong. This is the quarterfinals, and people are like, "Oh, I might watch this one, but I won't watch Madrid later." Well, I'm not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch Chelsea play Palmares. They just haven't registered the fact that the interest isn't there because people aren't excited. Why they're not excited? For me, it's the integrity of the tournament. How can you have a Club World Cup when you haven't got the best teams in the world. Barcelona aren't here. Liverpool aren't here. Arsenal aren't here. Sporting aren't here. Napoli aren't here. And that's the problem. The best teams in the world aren't here. And therefore, I feel like we're being forced to like something. We're being told it's a success. And look, the Qatari World Cup was a bit different because it was still the World Cup. I wasn't over the moon with it being played at Christmas, and I wasn't over the moon with it, every ground you could basically get to. But it's still a World Cup. It was still a success. But this is just it's difficult, isn't it? And look at this. Look at the attendances. Howder says bad shot from the PSG player. His choice of angle was open. Here we go. Bayern are in. He's gone too wide. Straight shot at Donnarumma from Koeman there. I think what you're saying, Howder, is the finishing could have been better. His choice of angle was as open as a fridge at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Perky says, I'm betting Walker joined Burnley because it's not far from Manchester. Frankly, I think he's more Blackburn quality. The thing you've got to worry about with Kyle Walker is if he loses his pace, there's not a lot there. And at Man City, in his last season, his positional sense was dreadful and he didn't have the speed to recover. So the only thing I would say to Burnley is his last season at Man City wasn't great. And he's now going to be playing for Burnley where it's going to be a harder job. There's another player gone down here for PSG. Looks like a wrist injury this time. Angry Brit says, thank you very much for that. Perk says he wasn't that good at AC Milan. I didn't pay any attention to what he did at AC Milan, so I know they didn't have a good season though, did they? Matty B says Walker was crap at Milan. I'll tell you what, Bayern are struggling here, aren't they? A lot of players going down. Still got a good 35 minutes to go here. Look, I think Kyle Walker's going to find it a lot harder at Burnley than he did at Man City because, for obvious reasons, he's a year older and Man City are a lot better, so he's going to be busy. Thinkon says, did Musiala get injured? Yes, very much so. Very much so. We've had some substitutions in this game, by the way. Let me just tell you what they are. You should be able to see them on the screen anyway. Obviously, Musiala went off. Gnabry came on. Here is Gnabry. Stanisic went off and Boe came on as well. He went off on the third. So, yeah, Bayern lost 2 players for injury in the first half. PSG haven't made any substitutions as of yet. Although Doué's just caught one there. Dembele is on the bench. Matthew Lund says, as a Chelsea fan, this competition is helping our club financially, but it's just a soft version of the Super Cup. I have no real attachment. Players need to rest. I think from Chelsea's point of view, they're going to need a big squad this season because it's their first year in the Champions League. Obviously, they weren't in it last year, which is more games. They're going to play a Club World Cup and go straight into the start of a Premier League season. And they're quite a young team still, so they are going to need a big squad. It's going to be a challenge for Chelsea. I don't know whether it's... I don't know whether Man City will benefit from going out early or not. I heard a few people saying, well, they will benefit. But then I'm like, but it's a difficult one, isn't it, for Man City? So they got knocked out a few days ago. So they're back from the States now. Jet lag. Probably just about starting to get over that. So 5th of July, everyone else is about to start pre-season after a rest. Do you have a rest a month out from the start of a new season, or do you just go into light training? I don't know what Man City do. At least for Chelsea, there's no choice. You're going to finish this tournament and go straight into your pre-season. For Man City, they're sort of in that no man's land, aren't they? They're back, but everyone else is about to start pre-season. So do you take 2 weeks off? That would seem a bit of a silly idea. So I don't know if we've got any City fans. Financially, it's great for any club who's in it, especially Chelsea, Matthew, yeah. City are going to go off for a month. So they're going to basically have 2 weeks and start the season. Well, at least they're going to get a break. I don't know what went wrong with the stream there. I suppose it's live, isn't it? No, I never normally get that, actually. Never normally get that anymore. It'll always come back. I've got backups. Classic movie clip says, love your watch-alongs, Mark. I haven't done that many over the summer because it's the summer. Obviously, we do a lot more during the season. I really enjoy them. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Got nearly 10,000 watching, which ain't bad. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I don't think we're on 1.34. Fucking hell, that's not been updated in ages. We're not on 1.34. We're actually 200 subscribers away from 1.359. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to change that. Yeah, Bayern's still the better team here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe PSG themselves are feeling the fatigue of a long season. Be nice to have a goal, though, wouldn't it? Where's my live chat gone? They have been evenly matched. Chelsea have already earned 60 million from this tournament, says Edge. They'll get to the final either as well. Yeah, easy. How do you like the Atlanta Stadium, says Nico. United are playing at this, aren't they? Another shot straight at Donnarumma, Elise. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. I don't know whether I like the big yellow walls inside. I don't know what that's all about. Why have you got them big walls there? But I like the outside of it. What a ball. That, oh, nearly a great. But no, it's still going to be a good ball. Here's Doué. Good break here for Bayern, for PSG. Got no support. Skips past one. Lovely cross, but no one's there. The skill of Doué and Kvaratskhelia out wide is just, it's very, 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 very good, isn't it? It's to stop pitch invasions. There you go. Final ball from PSG has just been lacking, hasn't it? need a goal. Come on. We need a goal. Love how you never pander to players. Club versus Warwick. Well, I personally think that's what every fan should be. I know the world's changed, but Chloe says, now you're in your 40s, Mark, would you consider Botox and fillers? No, absolutely not. I mean, look, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak about that. But I just don't think... I think men, you know, you look at people like Harrison Ford and that. I think men... A lot of men look better the older they get. I'm not up for that at all. No. And I think it looks worse. Like, I think you can tell when a bloke's had a bit of... help. Romano is saying Chelsea are monitoring Wanyeri. Can you imagine the Arsenal head loss if Chelsea get Wanyeri and they get Madueke? Michael Kennedy, that as a non-Arsenal fan and as a non-Chelsea fan, if Arsenal sanction a deal of Madueke for Wanyeri, that would be like being married to Margot Robbie and swapping her for Kat Slater from EastEnders. Just Google image Kat Slater from EastEnders and you'll know what I mean. I'd be Arteta out for that. And I think Arteta's done a great job. So, yeah, absolutely stupid. Not a chance that will happen. Arsenal fans would quite rightly riot. Quite rightly. Free kick here against Bayern. Against PSG, sorry. Oh, I don't know how Elise got there first ahead of Mendes, but he did, and it's over the bar. They might rue some of these chances. Yeah, he's at the stretch. He can't quite keep it down enough. And Donnarumma, to be fair, is... could have been a goal, that. Could have been a goal. Yeah, I can't see Wanyeri going. 65 minutes, still 0-0. Oh, I tell you what, I'm gonna do it again. If it goes to extra time like last week, I'm gonna go and get my dinner. I'm not watching the extra time. It's boring the shit out of me, this tournament. I think I should stop watching these games. Like, I don't seem to catch a break. Crowd are booing Donnarumma, says Jeff. Well, you'd get that in Europe as well, to be fair. Ooh. I've got to be honest. I watch so much football, and I'm sure many of you do. I don't think these teams are playing at full intensity. I don't think they're playing it like it's a pre-season friendly either. I just think... Here's Elise. Let me do a new poll for you. So 73% say the Club World Cup's been a failure. 27% say it's been a success. How good do you think Messi is now, by the way? I meant to ask that. I've just not had a chance to ask you. How good do you think he is now? Do you think he's still an elite player or basically on the wind down? I suppose you could say the same about Ronaldo. I mean, they're not as good as they used to be, but how good do you think they actually are? Another good cross, Elise, cleared away. Here, I've got an either or for you. This is a good one. This is a good one. Either or, Bellingham or Wirtz. A Wright says PSG needs Gary Barlow, so they're back for good. Jide says Kat Slater isn't terrible looking, expected worse. Whatever rocks your boat, Jide. I mean, I haven't watched EastEnders in about 10 years and she wasn't looking great then. And it's not about the looks. Horrible personality. Another foul here. I think Doué caught one in the face from Lema. Yellow card. I don't think it was as bad as he's making out, but yellow card's about right. She married Phil Mitchell. Oh my God. I suppose that you get to a point where you run out of storyline, don't you? I always think in Coronation Street or EastEnders, you'll end up sleeping with the whole street. Both sexes. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't done an animal thing yet. Give them time. Job is better than Jude, says Malipo. I don't know about that. Still down here, Doué. Still 20 minutes to go. Garfield says you can miss EastEnders for a year and it's the same story. Now, to be honest with you, I do find that Christmas Day, it normally gets put on, and you can watch it and not really miss anything from a year before. This is a great question, Graham. Why does nobody in Albert Square own a washing machine? I know the laundrette has been thriving for 40 years. I mean, why HMRC have not been round there? It's obviously, or the Met, it's obviously a drug running thing, isn't it? Who goes to the laundrette all the bloody time? And it's the whole square. Bellingham is beating Wirtz at the moment, 52%. I told you it'd be a good one. Dembele's on. See if he can be a game changer with 20 minutes to go. Kevy says, I can't believe the yellow card accumulation makes a player miss the semi-final. I think it should only affect them till the quarters. Well, Doc Cotton was the biggest drug lord in East London, says Sir Jim Radcliffe. I think the way that PSG have played tonight, even if they get through, I mean, I'd fancy, if Real Madrid beat Dortmund, I'd fancy them, they've got a good chance. This is not prime PSG that we saw winning the Champions League, is it? It's I don't know what it is, but it's not quite that PSG side. I mean, I suppose the Champions League was the holy grail, wasn't it? You want to enjoy that. That's the sad thing for PSG, isn't it? That Champions League was the accumulation of a decade's work, and they've had no break at all. Albert Square's got a horrendous murder rate, says NAU. Here we go. Lovely play by Mendes down the left-hand side. But every time they get past a Bayern player, there's another player there. Harry Kane. Of course, Anthony Taylor lets it go. Yeah, he'll let it go because it's Harry Kane, mate. Welcome to England, mate. That was a terrible tackle by Kane. And Anthony Taylor lets it go. Pat, 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 pat. Doesn't get the ball. I tell you what, if that hadn't been English, if he hadn't had an English passport, Anthony Taylor would have been all over that. It wasn't a great tackle. The ball barely moved, Hermit. It was a terrible bloody tackle. It was reckless. Kane Merchants in the chat. Can't remember Harry Kane at was it Anfield? That red card tackle. No, it's Harry Kane. Shearer used to get away with it all the time as well. Shearer was really dirty and hardly ever got booked. How good do you think Messi is now? I honestly haven't watched him a lot since the World Cup, if I'm being honest. He's not the player he was when he was the world's best player. I mean, you know, when I think about Messi, I think about somebody who can pick the ball up and skip past 6 players and put it in the top corner. He's still got the free kick ability, of course, because he'll never lose that. He'll be putting them in the top corner when he's 70. But the turn of pace, the ability to go past people, PSG should have scored there. What a chance. Neuer makes a mistake at the back. Dembele pounces on it and puts it wide. Probably just does enough to put Dembele off. Just goes wide. Whew. Who's better, Lampard or Gerrard, says Real Truth. Gerrard. I'm going to have to close this poll. Bellingham, it's been stuck on 52% for a long time. So Bellingham 52%, Wirtz 48% in an either or. Some good polls today. This is the place to be. I think I have got another one actually. Quite like this one as well. Are PSG looking a lot more dangerous now they've got Dembele? I can't do that one. It's not fair. I'll do this one. That should have been a corner. Alisson or Courtois? Let's do that. You know, let's be a goalkeeper. Perk says, imagine if Harry Kane was South American. All I can say is that Messi's going to perform well again in the World Cup, says Obi. I think that the great thing about Argentina winning the World Cup is that they won the World Cup when Messi wasn't at his best. But the team, he worked in the team, didn't he? Anthony Taylor's now giving free kicks for diving. I just imagine Harry Kane is South American and I'm getting the words Peter Stringfellow, says Nick P. Wardo says matey won player of the tournament. What do you understand? What's your interpretation of wasn't at his best? Are you taking me saying Messi wasn't at his best that I'm saying he's shit? Or have you just completely and utterly misinterpreted the English language? Messi in the last World Cup was not prime Messi. I'll leave it there. Bloody hell. Some of this Messi Ronaldo brigade really do shove their head up their arse and lose the ability to breathe and populate brain cells, don't they? What I said was, Messi was better in other World Cups and they didn't win it. And they won it when he wasn't at his best because the team built around him worked with him. At what point did I say he was shit? He was still bloody world class. What I'm saying is he wasn't the prime Messi. Yeah, I'm not talking about Messi and Ronaldo anymore. It does my head in. Incapable of having an intelligent conversation. Capable of getting a bloody goal as well. I'm sure it was Botafogo Palmeiras 0-0 as well after 90 minutes. Come on, PSG, just get a goal. Come on, Bayern, get a goal. I don't care who scores. Harry Kane, what the bloody hell are you doing? This is what I mean about a striker who drops deep. I can see PSG scoring in a minute. Or about now! There we go! 1-0! I called it! I called it! Doué, 1-0. All because of Harry Kane's mistake. This is why England shouldn't use a bloody striker who thinks he's a holding midfielder. He should be way further up the pitch. He's dropping in, thinking he's bloody Messi. He's a mess. That's what he is. What's Harry Kane doing that deep? This is why he's a world-class striker who thinks he's a fucking holding midfielder. He's absolutely messed that up. Lovely finish by Doué, but that's on Harry Kane, that is. What a prat. I've been very consistent about this. Harry Kane is world class, but if England want to do well, you need a striker who plays on the last man, not a striker who wants to hold hands with Jordan Henderson. I'm a firm believer that a striker that plays on the last man is valuable. You don't need a player that wants to be a number 10 in a team that's got number 10s. Doué obviously did catch one in the face because he's got a bleeding lip there. So we've got 10 minutes to go here. And PSG are ringing the changes. I wouldn't fancy Bayern getting away back now. PSG are a perfect team to just sit and counter here. Owen says, read my chat. I'm just about to read it. Owen says, Wirtz is a better playmaker and a more natural 10, but Bellingham can do everything. His mentality, his athleticism and technical ability are just phenomenal. England should build the team around him. Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Owen, and it's a well-timed comment. Thank you very much for your super chat, because when you look at England in the World Cup or whenever, you've got Jude Bellingham, who I think should play ahead of the midfield to dictate the attacking element of the team. But he can't do it. He had a terrible Euros because Harry Kane's dropping into the same area. Phil Foden can't settle an England shirt because Harry Kane's dropping into that area. Cole Palmer will struggle from the same thing. We've got Phil Foden, Cole Palmer and Jude Bellingham who basically play the De Bruyne role. But you've got Harry Kane that wants to play the De Bruyne role as well. So they're constantly getting in everybody's way. There's not a striker for them to feed because the striker doesn't do it. I can't look at that point of view camera. It makes me want to throw up. It gives me motion sickness. Is it gone? Yes. If Tuchel can't figure that out, he'll suffer the same fate as Southgate. England were better in the Euros when Kane went off and Watkins came on. Like, Watkins actually got us into the bloody final. We're better with a striker who plays on the last man. Either play Kane as a 10 and play a proper number 9, or don't play Kane. Oh, surprise, surprise. Gives the foul on Kane against Kane. Oh, it's not Kane. Is it Kane? No, it's Goretzka. That was quite a bad foul, actually. Let's give a red. Give a red? He's a disgrace to officiating, is it? Didn't look like a red to me. Let's have a look. I need to see this in real time. Oh, I tell you what, it is a red. It is a red. Yeah, that is a red. Pacho. It's a shame because he's had a good game. Look, it's one of those. It looks horrific on the replay. It looks horrific on the replay. I think it's a genuine attempt to get the ball. He's a bit unlucky, but it is a red. He's not done it. He's not done it to take the player out. He's gone for the ball. He's caught the player. It's high. You'd demand a red in the Prem for that. Even an idiot can make a right decision every now and again. So can Bayern get back into it now? They're up against 10 men for 10 minutes. Game 7 mode says, I've seen them let go many times. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I think it's the right decision. We'll still be playing this game till about midnight at this rate. What is it about the Club World Cup that every game goes on for fucking hours as well? I'm not joking. They really do. Okay, well, Bayern Munich, all-out attack now. Surely that's the plan. Kvaratskhelia has gone off. They'll have to play a little bit on the defence. This might be a good chance, actually, if you can dink this up towards the back post. Bayern. These are the sort of situations where they've had success. But it's headed away. Bayern have still got this. What film are you watching tonight, Mark? As if I'll bloody tell you, so you can just go and tell me what happens at the end. No chance. That's what you got. Harry Kane to get the equaliser. There's another foul there. I'll tell you what, you know what, talking about films, I'm quite into films, and have you ever seen the film Pulp Fiction? If you haven't, you need to watch it. It's a great, great film. But it's a bit of a spoiler, but it's not. It's such a good film with so many stuff in it, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling much. But Vincent Vega, John Travolta, gets shot on the toilet. And I was reading a Reddit about Pulp Fiction the other day, and there was a big debate going on about why he was on the toilet. What was he doing on the toilet? He was literally sat there with a magazine having a shit. Like, what do you think he was doing on the toilet? A crossword. Donnarumma playing it out front back. Great film though, Pulp Fiction. Good summer film if you've never seen it. If you have seen it, watch it again. Always like watching Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Especially in the summer. Heat's the ultimate summer film. I haven't watched it this summer yet, but I will. I will. $85, there'll be another 60 minutes added on. Don't worry about that. That's before extra time. Very, very stop-start. I don't know whether that's the climate or tiredness, whatever. But they have been very stop-start games, and this one's been no different. Here's Elise. You feel that Bayern Munich's way back into it is going to be putting the ball in the box, set pieces, etc. And there it is. He's offside again. Harry Kane. What? I'd tell you what, I was about to go like that. What did I tell you? Harry Kane. And it looks like PSG's defensive model again. Oh, miles off again. That defensive line of Bayern, that defensive line of PSG is brilliant, isn't it? You've got to say. Two goals Bayern have scored, and you'd think they were both goals, but the PSG defensive line has just been on point on both of them. Very hard to do that, you know, play an offside trap like that. Michael Madsen was offered the role of Vincent Vega but turned it down, says Kenneth. Yeah, he passed away this week, didn't he, as well? Famously, well, his famous scene was Steelers' Wheel, wasn't it? I don't know why I came here tonight. John Cena's new film on Amazon looks fun, says Dan Davey. Yeah, I've never really been into those type. I'm quite seriously into films, so I don't really get into things like The Rock or John Cena films or Batista and all that, or Hulk Hogan. I remember Hulk Hogan did a film. It was, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called. It was absolute shit. This is going to be Bayern's way back, putting crosses into the box. Definitely. Not playing passes like that. Yeah, apparently Madsen's character in Reservoir Dogs is the brother of Travolta in Pulp Fiction. There's always a little bit of a connection. Daniel says, serious question, do you think you're hot? I'm not a narcissist, come on. Fart Smeller says, are you doing the 9 p.m. game? No, I'm doing 8 o'clock on the United Stand, and then I'm heading out to watch a film. To be honest with you, I probably will do the semi-finals on Tuesday, Wednesday, but I can't wait for this tournament to be over. I'm not catching any... The best thing about it is chatting with you people, basically. I just can't do this. It's just not good. Chelsea or Arsenal? Who said that? KD. In what context? Chelsea or Arsenal? Have you seen the Mission Impossible films, Mark, says Amit? I think I watched one once. Yeah, I think I watched one once. Kane goes wide. Put the cross in. Elise. Gets tackled. Gets tackled again. Of course, PSG down to 10 men. And that's a crap cross. What we're doing time-wise, we're into stoppage time. Not sure how long is getting added on. 6, that's not a lot. What film are you watching? Let me guess. Megan 2.0, says Daniel. Don't know what that is. I've watched all the John Wick films, Red, yeah. I watched the film last week that was highly recommended. Oh, cross comes in. Yeah, highly recommended. I forgot what it was called already. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's got really good reviews. It's a war film. I found it really boring. I can't even remember what the bloody name of it. What a ball that is if it works. Suburban Commando, that was it, Dan. Absolute shite. Warfare, that's what it was called. Yeah, rubbish. I got all the reviews have got it like 90%. I just for me it was, you know, and I like those sort of films normally, but no. What? What's Anthony Taylor doing here? I mean, he's got to get this right because it's out of nowhere. Kingsman's a great film, says Wagner. Nah, that's never a red. That's shocking. Never a red, that one. That is never a red. That is never a red. Like, that is just never a red. Like, it's sort of a little bit of that, but it's not, like, proper It's not. That is a terrible call. Absolutely rubbish. That is terrible. Really needs absolutely needs changing. He does move the arm, but that's natural. That's sort of like you're shoulder barging somebody. You're not actually going. He's not gone up like that. He's gone like that. It's just a typical sort of shoulder barge movement. It's not an elbow with intent. Jog on. Get your trainers on. Mate, I've been watching football for over 40 years. I've played it for about 20. That is never a red card. Never in a million years. Absolutely disgusting. Right, well, look, again, that's my opinion. I'll do the poll. Was it a red? Yes or no? We've barely seen a replay of it as well, which tells me straight away it's not a fucking red. They've hardly shown it. Well, if Bayern can't equalise here against 9 men, something's gone very, very wrong, hasn't it? Airplane movie's the best. They have trainers on, says Wagner. Heard Liverpool are paying Yotta's family the rest of his contract wages. Thank God Sir Jim doesn't own Liverpool, says Kevin. Yeah, I mean, look, you can't, Sir Jim Radcliffe and the Glazers haven't done great at Man United, but come on, you can't. I don't agree with anything you've said there, to be fair. Anthony Taylor is a horrible ref. He's always looking for a red so he can get attention, says Wardo. Check the ref's Sky Bet account for that decision, says Sonic. I like the Lethal Weapon film, says Amir. Kingsman's a great film, says Wagner. They are. I do like Lethal Weapon as well. Still plenty of time for Bayern here. He's going to add about another 10 minutes on, I would imagine. Sati says English referee's reputation is very bad. Look, the first one was a red. The second one's strange, really strange. Basically, he's running along and he's done that in a sort of 50-50 challenge. It happens in every physical altercation for the fight for the ball, all over the pitch. Connor, I'm not going to tell you what film I'm going to see because someone will just ruin what happens in it. So a tasty end to this game. I mean, I'd be stunned if Bayern don't equalise, really. Playing against 9 men. It's... although... Dembele's in. Oh, he's at the bar. Dembele's at the bar. Oh, he's in. Hakimi lays it back. Ah, shove that, have you? Have that, Taylor, and have that as well. Your plan didn't work. 2-0 Dembele. Justice. Absolute justice. Have that, Taylor. Your plan didn't work at all. 2-0. How have they done that with men? 10 men. Take that, Taylor. Is it secret agent for Harry Kane, isn't he? That's what it's all about. So PSG with 9 men have basically doubled their lead here. And Dembele had just hit in the Demba before that. The bar. Look at Hakimi here. Took 3 Bayern Munich players out. Lays it back to Dembele. Lovely finish into the bottom corner as well. Side netting. Not quite bottom corner, but... Wow, that's justice, that is. Dembele for the Ballon d'Or, says ISO. 9 men as well. Look at Enrique, he's loving that. Anthony Taylor's a prat. Ball don't lie, give Dembele the Ballon d'Or, says Michael. Yeah, I think he has to win it, doesn't he, really? surprised Taylor's not trying to find a way to rule it out. Daniel says, do you think Anthony Taylor's mum likes him? I know a couple of people who know him. I'm not going to say what. It's not fair, actually. Bayern could still get back into this. Oh, tell you what, nearly did there. Elise with the shot. Donnarumma manages to palm it away from danger. Back to the back post. Donnarumma misses it! Cleared off the line. And he's given a penalty as well. His account needs checking here. This. I don't know whether this is a penalty. Donnarumma kicks at it. Does he gets the ball? Does he kick the ball? He kicks the ball. Anthony Taylor may as well put a bloody Harry Kane shirt on. Again, I think that's a 50-50. I think a lot of the time that penalty doesn't get given. I think a lot of the time the red card doesn't get given. I even think the first one, a lot of the time the red card doesn't given. He's given 3 decisions massively in Bayern Munich's favour. And that's not a coincidence. Like, he's going to check it on VAR. Once you'd accept it, twice is dodgy, 3 times is ridiculous. All 3 of those decisions are, you've seen him go the other way. Yeah, I think he'll still give this. Well, there's no foul either. He doesn't hit him in the face. And he handballs it. That's not a penalty. 1, he doesn't hit his face, and 2, Muller handballs it. So there's no foul, and there's a handball. And it's 7:05 on a game that kicked off at 5 o'clock. He's had to turn it around. He's had to turn it around now. No penalty. Look, if you're new to the game and you're watching this channel, make sure you subscribe. But we have to put up with this every week in the Premier League. Yeah, it's never a penalty. I mean, it's a high foot, but it's a total dive. Oh, referees making it about them when PSG have done a fantastic job here to win this with 9 men. We're still playing. And there's the final whistle. Full time. Hey, it was, tell you what, it's a good last 20 minutes. You know, I like watching PSG. I watched PSG on Wednesday as well. Join me again. Yeah. Yeah. The right result at the end of the day. I thought Bayern did okay at times, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. I think PSG clearly are feeling tired. There's no doubt about that, but a good win for them. And they've done well to get over there. Get more excitement from the Community Shield, says LW. Marani says, great content. Add Sir Jim, Anthony Taylor and Infantino to the literal definition of incompetence. Justice for PSG, have that Taylor and Kane. Well, of course, PSG are going to miss 2 players now from the semi-final as well. Don't forget that. Right, I'm going to go have some dinner. I'm on the United stand at 8 o'clock. I'm not doing Real Madrid against Dortmund. One Club World Cup game every few days is enough for me. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm on the United stand at 8, legends, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.